Well, I really thank you for coming and visiting and offering to do the van tour. I think that, my rig is pretty basic, and that's something that ought to be encouraging to folks that are just getting started. You don't have to have all the flash. And also, thanks for letting me talk about Campground Cuisine, because we're all here to share with each other and learn. And let's face it, when you have limited resources and limited tools, you got to be really creative with the things you're doing. You can't just bring your entire kitchen with all your tongs and fancy, accoutrements of the kitchen to do the same thing. So if you can show folks how to have some great meals and a good time, and it's easy without a lot of hassle, without a lot of expense, then I think it's a good time for everybody to learn and share. So thank you for coming by. Hi, my name's Cindy. Kind of an interesting story how I got to be van camping. I was actually doing research for a solar regenerating power pack. And believe it or not, in this path of looking at review after review after review of different brands and sizes and uses of these power packs, I stumbled upon Butterfly Tracks. It was actually a van tour was the first thing I saw, and suddenly I find this community of ladies who are getting together. They're going out and having fun, gathering in different parks, some of them van camping, some of them have trucks, some are staying in their tents. I mean, it's just a total different variety of folks just kind of wanting to be together and being outside. So I was really excited once I was able to retire to be able to put some things together to create my van, my rig, as everybody refers to their vehicles, so that I could join along and have some fun and meet some new people. So I was very fortunate that my dad had a Dodge Grand Caravan. It actually had very low miles, even though it's a 2017. My parents had van camped years and years and years ago. They had an RV, they'd had conversion van, but my work and schedule and everything just never let me really travel with them and van camp once I got into the working world and adult life. So I kind of knew what to do, but I have really learned so much from watching various YouTube videos, understanding different ways that coming to what you want or need isn't always the exact way for everybody. Learning that what you have can be used to do things until you decide how you really need it to be. Because you could buy all the stuff in the world and then realize after a couple trips, yeah, this doesn't work for me, and then you have all this stuff in the world. So I'm gonna just kind of show you around what I did. I am still in the very infant stages, though I think I'm very comfortable in my rig. I don't want for anything really. So I just kind of, I'm gonna show you what I've done and let you know where I bought things.
Yes.
And give you an idea of how I approached my challenges. And I will let you know some of these ideas came from my parents because of all their history in van camping. So they were very important in kind of giving me a head start on how to do things. So we'll start at the front with the windows. I happened to be at Five Below Plug, and they had a whole section with like decorations for kids' rooms. And so this is actually netting that comes from the princess bed that you would put over a bed. It had the hoop up at the top. And so I just cut it and made a screen specifically for a window, whether it's this window or the other side, it doesn't matter. I use magnets to secure it. I just put a little tape at the bottom to prevent any fraying. And I just loop it over the top and close the door so that it stays in place, and I don't have any problems there. And these aren't like mega powerful magnets. These are normal Dollar Tree magnets that you can get or really anywhere. The rest of the netting I did not cut for the other window because I use it to drape over the back if I want it open, so it can be used for any size. So the other thing I do in the front is lots of folks have the Reflectix front window pieces that you already get made, and you just kind of wedge it in the front window. Well, what I found is it can actually rest on the arms of the minivan, and it just kind of sits there, and then I clip it to the hand helpers, and it stays secure and in place, and it provides me not only the reflecting but more so privacy at night.
So from this angle, boy, even fits like right there Stands up perfect.
My first couple of camping experiences, I used my back patio lawn furniture cushions, because they were thick enough and they were comfortable and I could lay out on the floor super easy. But in all my travels, I finally found a camping cot. So I jumped all over that. I got it at a Goodwill in Auburn, Alabama, and it was only $9, which was a steal of a deal. So I'm not using my lawn furniture cushions today. Today I have a sleeping bag and 2 pieces of foam on top of my cot, and that provides me plenty of comfort. I'm happy with it. Others use thicker mattress pads and such, but that works really well for me. I have a couple pillows that I use just, because I'm used to sleeping with a couple pillows. But that's been really good. I use a fan in here. I don't have it clipped up right now, but I can tell you last night I cut the fan off after about 3 hours because I had the windows down just a skosh, and it was very comfortable me with a single sheet, and also using a blanket when I've traveled up into the Carolinas and North Georgia. I keep my little slats right here so I can pop them on and off. I also have my Eco River Flow 2 power pack, and that's a 750 watt. If I have my phone watching something streaming and a fan going even all night, it's not going to use more than 25% of it a night. So I came fully charged. We're only here 3 nights, so I still have 25% to spare. So that's what I ended up buying. The number one reason why I bought it, it's a 70-minute 0 to 100% charge. And that was important to me because if I was traveling, I didn't want to worry about having to stop for a long time or hoping to have good solid sun. I do have the solar attachment. I just didn't bring it because I knew I wasn't going to use all of the juice in 3 nights. But to be able to walk into a Panera or Starbucks or something, and from wherever you are, worst case scenario, you're there 70 minutes because that's all it takes from 0 to 100. So I thought that was the best feature for that for me because I just didn't want to have to sit around waiting for it to charge up. I keep this light here. It's a motion sensor, so it's nice if I have to get out to have some immediate light shining down so I can walk around. While I'm traveling, and even if I were in a situation where I couldn't use my tent, I store in these rollaboard size, overhead compartment, airplane size suitcases are my kitchen, my other supplies for outside. That's where I would store my lights and my charcoal if I'm doing that type of cooking, my backpack for other items, and everything stores nice and tight under that so that while I'm driving, should I have to slam on the brakes, I have that tied down, the bed is tied down, and that'll help keep those things secure. Up here, I have a clothes hanger bar, and it's not being used right now, but at night I move my clothes over after I'm settled. All my hanging up clothes here moves over to the bar so that I can try not to have to worry about ironing. I'm going to another place after this, so I have more clothes than I normally would have for a 3-day camp out, but I have a whole 4 more days of traveling after this, so I had to bring a whole different set of clothes.
Of course.
So that comes out when I'm finished with the in and out of this side door. Once it's bedtime, all of those things come out of the way. You'd be shocked how much room I have between the bed and the wall. Plenty of room to move around. If I have a during the night need to deal with the potty or something like that, I don't have a sit-down potty situation. I have the female adapter to the urinal jar. I guess it's the official urinal jar. It has a female adapter, and I'm able to at least stand somewhat and use that. And I've used that a couple times, and that has been super easy and works for me. I really don't want an additional thing on the ground. Taking a look from this angle, from the back of the van, a couple different things I'll mention. Again, I continue to keep things under my cot. I've had a friend gift me the Brita water filter system. This is my grocery store. I keep my food in here, and I have a little fold-out table, which is real nice. I bought 2 of these water bags. I really like these. I can fill them up, put them up here. get water out of it pretty easily, whether it's cooking or just to drink. This is like an industrial cooler that I got at a pharmacy. So this is kind of a funny story. My cooler just is not that good. Now, granted, I was in really hot weather and it just could not keep up with it. And this is what medications are shipped in. Very important, cannot drop below a certain temperature medications. So I was able to pick this up from my pharmacy, and it's super thick, super tough. I mean, you can see that's really thick, really insulated. And then I put a little one in here to be my drinking ice. I did bring my guitar for a little sing-along time out at the campfire. We'll have some fun tonight. Maybe you'll see some video from that on another video or whatever, but I'm really looking forward to that. I think group sing-alongs are super fun. I also got this contraption here. It's the black item that's clipped onto my other hanging clothes hook, and that is a iPad or some type of tablet clip. It can hold the tablet sideways, or vertically it can hold a phone. And so I'm going to clip my phone in that tonight and see if I can watch my phone, my streaming from that, rather than having to hold it out all the time while I'm watching my entertainment. I did recently cut out the Reflectix for the windows to try and help with the temperature control as well as privacy. And I found that this van back door is very difficult to get the piece to stay in.
Yes.
And if you're opening it up and down, it's almost not really going to happen. So my mother, my smart mother, said put it on some cardboard and see if you can get that to wedge better, because this was not wedging. So hopefully it'll wedge now. I'll put this up. Oops, I don't want that in there.
You had a bug.
Yep. And so we'll put that, hook it right into where that little hump is right there, and that kind of starts it, and then I can wedge it up and in there, and it stays pretty good. So you can see I haven't really invested a ton of money in this. I mean, I've pointed out, a few dollars here, a few dollars there. Probably my biggest investment was $20 on the Reflectix stuff. This side, I keep that. So this is pretty easy. It just screws on. You take off the cap right here. This screws on, you get it nice and secure, and you control the burner flame size by turning this knob.
Right.
So you can either turn it off or turn it on high. And it's pretty efficient. Now what is interesting is that they provide this base to it. And so it gives a little bit of security. You put that in there, you have a nice stable base. This goes on top, and you can put a pan or a pot on there very easily. So it's really something that's compact, doesn't take up a lot of space. I find that just using these little suitcases that I can keep everything in and then close them up and put them under the bed, they don't take up any space. Under the bed is a great place to store things. Use what you have. Fortunately, again, my parents already had some of these things from their van camping days, so I was able to get a head start with very little investment.
Right.
But I am super happy with my experience. Met lots of folks today hanging out, of course, last night, and I really think if you have the opportunity to, with what you have, give it a try. And the more you do it, the more you see what you need and what you don't need, and then you're not spending a lot of unnecessary dollars and then having things that you don't want to use anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just been a real joy coming and meeting everybody.
Yeah, I can see you're having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like how you got this set up right behind your
it's pretty,
open hatch here.
Pretty convenient. And if it were raining, I could back it up in a different way and then have it where it would be covered going in and out of the tent. But really the tent for me is my closet, my garage. When all the cooking equipment and everything is out, I just want to have it in one place open so I don't have to keep taking things in and out. So I have some cooking stuff already, my extra pillows and a duffel bag, but there's plenty of room. I got another duffel bag over there. That's where my clothes are that are not hanging up, my dirty clothes and tennis shoes and such.
That's nice to be able to get it out of the way.
Yeah, but if I have a buddy to go camping with, I don't mind sleeping in the tent. And I've been where it rained and this absolutely no moisture came into the tent.
Oh,
It was
that's good to know.
unbelievable. It's my garage and changing room and restroom when I need it. I met up with some ladies in High Falls State Park. That's a Georgia state park. There were around 5 or 6 total ladies who attended. I was so glad I went because it exposed me to some very tenured campers, both car, van, RV, teardrop. I mean, there were several different rigs there. So I was really happy to be exposed to them, had some great conversations. We hiked, just sat around talking. I'm going to be meeting up with them in let's see, November, actually in just a couple of weeks over in South Carolina group, because I really enjoyed hanging out with them.
Members of the Butterfly Tribe, right?
It is. And yeah, I found them at the website, Butterfly Tracks, and the events tab. And I said, oh, well, this is really close to where I live, so I can go to this and kind of get an experience of a multi-day camping experience. I have van camped, like I mentioned, as a younger person, and then here recently. But this is my first large gathering meetup experience. So like I said, it's been super cool. And those little camping trips kind of, building up, getting an understanding of what I need, what I don't need, what I want, what I don't want, planning, understanding space, and packing well, because if you pack the right way, things are a lot easier. Instead of just throwing stuff in a box and going, you're always looking for something.
Yep.
So if you can keep things in a specific place, in the end, you're not struggling all the time. I just retired, so I'm kind of just, the door is opening to ability to travel the way I want to and do what I want to do. I really hope I can get connected with a caravan that's going on a long trip, because I think that's a beautiful thing. You can travel together, have the security, maybe some local knowledge people have along the way, but at the same time you kind of do your own thing.
You do your own thing during the day,
right? And then just all meet up, and I think that's an excellent way for women to travel. I'm all about that, so I'm hoping I can get connected on some type of caravan, because I'm not a very good cook when I have a full kitchen and everything is available to me. But I have seen folks on YouTube and in person cooking some really good meals and things that I would have never thought to cook. And at some point, you don't want to have chili and ravioli anymore. I started really talking to people about what they're cooking, how do they cook that, how do you do dessert? Do you do anything else other than crock pot or a frying pan? And folks started sharing with me some ideas and some ways that they're cooking traditional meals at their campsites. Sometimes it involves electricity, sometimes it involves fire, sometimes it involves charcoal, because a lot of campgrounds have charcoal grills that you can use, and of course electricity is available at some sites. What a great exposure to different ways of doing things. And I thought, there's probably a lot of people like me who don't know all the ins and outs of camping. And while I'm here and I'm talking to these people, I started videotaping some folks. So I came up with the idea to capture different people cooking, doing different things, eventually myself, after I get different ideas, to cook different meals, so that you can eat creatively and healthy and not the same thing over and over and over, but without a lot of struggle and equipment and seasonings and all that. So I've started my own YouTube channel. It is called Campground Cuisine.
And I will put a link to your
Yeah.
new YouTube channel there. That's going to be, I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
be
it'll be
one
cool.
of your early subscribers.
Okay, cool. And so we'll just get some ideas, and I'm gonna let people know, hey, if you're out camping, if you're going to any of the butterfly meetups and I'm going, I'd love to film you and share it, and you can show all your friends what you do when you're camping. Maybe they don't know what a good cook you are when you're out camping, but they know how good you are at home. But I just think it's a great thing to share what you know and help others along the way. So I just think it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for people to share and show and brag on what they do good, so that we can all learn and have some real good meals while we're out in the woods and sharing with our friends.
So thank you everybody for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, y'all. See you soon.
Bye.